Council to order at 6 p.m. And before we get started, I'll ask Stephanie to read the hybrid meeting ground rules and then call the roll.
Go. Tonight's meeting will be held in person with a virtual meeting component. If you are participating virtually, please make sure the name shown at the bottom of your video view is the name you would like the mayor to use. You can change this by right-clicking on your video view and selecting Rename. Audience members present in the council chambers will be called upon first during public comment periods. Those participating remotely should virtually raise your hand if you wish to speak. To virtually raise your hand, click on Participants and then click on Raise Hand. If you are participating by phone only, press *9 to raise your hand. Please limit all comments to 3 minutes. Okay, roll call. Brent Gary,
Here.
Richard Bloom,
Here.
Fred Brink,
Here.
David Fetto,
Here.
May Hayes,
Here.
Kate Moran,
Present.
John Smart,
Here.
and Councilmember Stoker is still on vacation.
May I have a motion to excuse Councilmember
Stoker.
Stoker?
So
I
moved.
was looking for the
Second.
empty seat. A motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. Thank you, Council. Mayor Pro Tem Brink, would you please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
My pleasure, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Brink. Much appreciated. Council, the agenda is before you this evening. Are there any changes to the agenda? If none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Council. We have a couple of presentations this evening. The first one we're going to start off with is with Laura Colhoun. She is a resident of the city of West Richland and a contestant in the Miss Tri-Cities pageant this year. And we've invited her to come speak to us in a presentation that she's going to use on her platform with Tri-Cities pageant as positive political debate, which is obviously something some of our people in DC could use at times. But with that, Laura, thank you for joining us this evening. And if you'd please come to the podium, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you go to the next slide, please? So a little bit about me. My name is Laura Colhoun. I'm a senior at Richland High School. I'm 17 years old with 5 brothers. And this motto, Building Bridges of Understanding, which goes along with the positive political debate, is a mission that I've tried to do through my whole life. And I included furthering it through being part of the Miss Tri-Cities this summer. And I would love to share what that means. Next slide. So a little story actually about our own community. The Tri-Cities is divided by rivers, as you know, and in 1922, a new bridge was built called the Green Bridge. Unfortunately, this bridge that people were so excited to finally connect all the cities, because of the time during the Jim Crow laws and everything, this bridge actually became a symbol of segregation, and Kennewick actually put up a sign saying that they would not let the members of Pasco, the blacks, to pass through the bridge after sundown. But in 1978, next slide, please, the Tri-Cities community came together and built a whole new bridge in place of the Green Bridge. And this bridge is the Cable Bridge. And this bridge is actually known as a symbol of the Tri-Cities connection. Next slide. So just like that cable bridge, instead of the Green Bridge, I want to talk about how we can be bridges of connection. Thank you. Why is this important? A couple statistics about the United States right now is according to political scientists, the United States is more divided than ever since the Civil War. And according to the National Governors Association, divided is the word used more than any other word by Americans to describe our country. More than 7 in 10 Democrats and Republicans view the other side as brainwashed, arrogant, and hateful. And 70% of Americans believe America is in crisis and at risk of failing. In fact, what happened in my classroom is I'm in AP Gov this year, and we did what's the most important political problem right now, and the majority was political polarization. Next slide, please. A hopeful statement that we each can do something about is also, according to the National Governors Association, that 87% of Americans are exhausted with political division. So let's do something about it. Next slide, please. This is a little video. So the National Governors Association, as I was talking about, had an initiative 2023 to 2024 called Disagree Better, Healthy Conflict for Better Policy. And the chairman of this initiative, Governor Cox, talks more about what it means to disagree better.
In America today, the very fabric of our nation is being torn apart. We've never felt more divided, and we're too fixated on our differences. He's Black and he's white. He grew up in the city and he's a farm boy from Utah. He's a Democrat and he's a Republican. On paper, we couldn't be more different, and yet we're both dads. We both love college basketball. We both have really stylish haircuts, and we're both proud Americans. We disagree passionately on lots of issues, but we're friends and we respect each other. Politics is important, but it shouldn't define us or destroy our relationships. His name is Spencer Cox, and his name is Wes Moore, and we approve this message.
So I love this video. It just teaches how we, even with political differences and disagreements, we can focus on being proud Americans and our commonalities. And so Governor Cox also shared a quote that I love and I strive to follow, is show that the best feature of American democracy is a constitutional system that helps us not merely tolerate people with differing views, but to engage with them, debate them respectfully, refine our ideals, win with magnanimity, lose with grace, and make our country stronger, end quote. So two simple little action words that won't change everything, but they are some things that we can focus on to respect people who have different disagreements is one, to be curious, to listen and ask questions before you judge someone of their opinion. In fact, I always think that I should have an informed conclusion instead of an uninformed assumption about someone. And next. And the second one is to be kind. Even if people like different things than us or have different political ideals, we can still be kind. A big trick is to find common ground, find how we're similar, like the governors did. Next slide, please. So a little fun story that ties it in that's pretty simple is my friend Ian is a big Aggies fan, and he wears all the Aggies shirts, and I'm a huge BYU fan, and sometimes I'm like, Ian, why do you do that? But then I just remember that like we're friends, and even though if we like different things, we can focus on like how we both love playing ping pong or we both love making gingerbread houses. So I think that disagreeing better can start with simple examples in our life of even if we have different favorite food or different favorite teams, that we can still be friends and respect each other. So this is the owner of Kind Bars. His name's Daniel Lubetsky, and in this video that I took a screenshot of, he shares his story of a super hard time with his grandpa in the Holocaust and how his grandpa chose to be kind during that time, and that actually saved his life. And so I actually got some Kind Bars donated from Grocery Outlet that I'd love to share, and it just teaches the message that being kind can change your life. And yeah, so next slide. Thank you. So action item from today's lesson is if you're talking to someone who has a different opinion than you, ask them if they could go on a walk with you and talk about it. Even just talking it out instead of just immediately judging is so important. And to be curious and ask questions instead of criticizing, and to be kind. It is contagious. Thank you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, we have some Washington State Cougars and then we have some some dogs from the other side of the hill. So these guys always go back and forth with each other. So council, go ahead, take a couple seconds and come out to the front of the dais. I'd like to get a picture with you and then you can share your goodies with us. And then, who's your team?
My team, Red Sox.
Red Sox. We got baseball people.
You're accepted.
You and I can stand right here in the middle, right? All right, let's even it up a little
Yeah.
bit. And who's our photographer? Mom, or Stephanie? We got enough room?
We go to the back of it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Awesome, thank you.
So when you eat those, you have time, is that? Thank you so much. All right, now save these kind bars until it's time for you to speak and then you can. All right, thank you, council, for taking that photo op. Much appreciated. A lot of good information that young lady had. Boy, golly, just too bad some of the other people in the DC doesn't follow that same practice, right? I think everybody can pretty much agree on that. Okay, with that, the next thing we have up on our agenda is a proclamation that I am going to present. And it is in regards to attendance matters. That's right. Thank you, Councilmember Bloom. And so it reads, whereas good attendance in school remains essential to students' achievement and progress toward graduation. And whereas chronic absence, missing 10%, 2 or 3 days a month or more, is a predictor of academic trouble and dropout rates and weakens our communities and local economy. And whereas all students, even those who show up regularly, are affected by chronic absence because teachers must spend time reviewing for students who missed lessons. And whereas students' absenteeism can be significantly reduced when schools, parents, and communities work together to monitor and promote good attendance and address hurdles that keep children from participating in schools. Now, therefore, to be resolved that I, Brent Gary, Mayor of the City of West Richland, Washington, and the City Council will stand with the nation in recognizing September 2024 as Attendance Awareness Month. Our City Council hereby reaffirms its commitment to academic success and of all students. We also encourage all members of our community to focus on reducing absenteeism to give children the equal opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. Now I have Asta Bonheo, the Community Impact Director, as well as a West Richland resident, is here to accept the proclamation on behalf of the United Way. If you would join me at the podium, I will present you with this proclamation and then ask you to say a few words. And another Kodak moment. Kodak, does anybody remember what Kodak was all about, right? The little flash cube, you know, clicky, clicky, click. They were smiling in the background.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council, other city staff and guests. I'm Asta Bonhayo. I'm the Community Impact Director for the United Way of Benton and Franklin Counties. And I just want to say thank you for support of education and your leadership in bringing community awareness to the issue of attendance by helping us issue this proclamation. Our United Way works to give local kids a better future, and attending school at all ages is critical for a child's success. Students who regularly attend kindergarten and first grade are more likely to be reading at grade level in third grade than those who don't. Students who regularly attend middle school are more likely to graduate high school. But unfortunately, chronic absenteeism, for students who miss an average of at least 2 days a month, has more than doubled or has doubled since the pandemic in our community. And just here in our local school district, 25% of kids, 1 out of 4, or 3,600 kiddos in the Richland School District are chronically absent in the last school year that we have data for. And that's not an acceptable number. So our Attendance Matters initiative highlights the importance of regular school attendance, and helping us celebrate September as Attendance Awareness Month helps us remind parents and other caregivers and grandparents and neighbors and family and friends that we can all support our kids by encouraging them to go to school. It seems so simple, but it's something that we have to do right now. Together, we can help our children reach their full potential as our future citizens and voters and employees for the success of our community. So thank you again, City of West Richland, for your time and for supporting us by recognizing September as Attendance Awareness Month.
Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time. Much appreciated, and your efforts is very important. Let us know what else we could do. I mean, the council members would surely be more than happy to take a few minutes to go read to some of these kids. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, council, that brings us to the consent agenda this evening, which includes approved minutes of the regular meeting, August 20th, 2024. Resolution 4924 authorizing the mayor to execute traffic mitigation agreement with Costco Wholesale Corporation. Resolution 5024 authorizing the mayor to execute easement and warranty deeds for SR 224 Red Mountain Vicinity Improvement Projects. Resolution 5124 authorizing the mayor to execute the site lease agreement for the third amendment with Cellco Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless. Is there anyone from the audience who'd like to speak to the consent agenda this evening? Seeing no one in-house, virtually, *9, or raise your virtual hand to speak to the consent agenda. I see no one virtually. Stephanie, do you?
I do not. We only have Eric attending virtually tonight.
So, hello, Eric. It's a pleasure to have us join us this evening. So I'll look for your hand to be raised when it's time for staff comments. So with that, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda this evening?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, council. This is the first opportunity for citizen public comment for items that are not on the agenda this evening. If you'd like to address council, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and remember, council does not engage in a conversation back and forth. Anyone this evening? Seeing no one in-house and no one virtually but Eric, we will go ahead and move on to ordinances, resolutions, motions, and public hearings. We have none of those this evening, or do we have any unfinished business? Nor do we have any new business. So one more time for citizen public comment. If anybody would like to address council, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. All quiet on the front this evening, and nobody else has joined us virtually. So with that, we are going to go ahead and move on to staff, council announcements, and reports, comments. We'll start with staff. If anybody has anything from the staff side of it. Roscoe's smiling, so I'm sure he's got something for us over there. Aaron.
Just a reminder, next Tuesday, we're doing a budget workshop, 9 to 2 at the police station. And then the other item is we're wrapping up our audit, financial and federal audit. I'm expecting them to do the exit interview possibly as early as next week or the following week. So look for that as well.
And I don't see anything that Eric might have or any other staff members. I will make mention at our new, at our, the council workshop or the, budget workshop, we have, an owl that we now have that's, available for us as you use in, COG and things of that nature. Very, very nice little tool. We'll be able to set our tables up in a circle, get away from this dais here, and have a good interactive conversation. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to kind of change the format a little bit, and I think everybody will find it a very, very nice format that we're going to be using for this budget conversation. So with that, any council comments or reports this evening? Councilmember Moran?
Thank you. I just wanted to say it's a shame that the young lady left, but I really appreciate what she had said, and I hope that the folks here in the chamber and the folks at home, and especially those of us behind the dais, can take those words to heart. I know that that is something that I really wish that we could see more of, and I know that overall we've had a pretty good time of being able to do that behind the dais. So the words were definitely appreciated. Other than that, it's a shame, but I will unfortunately not be able to make the budget meeting. Hopefully we can schedule them maybe on days that are maybe weekends or later in the days. But other than that, yeah, just happy to be here.
Councilmember Fetto?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a reminder, next Wednesday, the West Richland Chamber luncheon at the police station. Our guest speaker will be Mayor Pro Tem Brink. Talk about America's resilience. That was a topic Chief and I came up with at the last one, was what we were going to call that. Just as a 9/11 first responder, we just thought the timing was right. So come see Mayor Pro Tem Brink, noon at the police station.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Blue?
Twofold. One, I guess we let you, you now have to negotiate the mitigation agreement with Costco. I understand that Costco hasn't negotiated their lease agreement with the state. So, hopefully things go in. Our new general manager for Ben Franklin Transit has come and taken over the helm, and I'm meeting with him tomorrow to go over some of the budgetary issues and negotiations we have going on. And with that, no, that's all my little piece of the puzzle.
Councilmember Hayes?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make mention of tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the American Legion 34. Olympia is coming back down again, and they're having a small town hall. They're trying to do that every couple weeks and getting together with different veteran groups. And they'll be talking about a lot of things other than just the veteran cemetery, but that topic will come up. So I just want to put that out there. And if anybody is out there that if they want their group to meet with Olympia, let me know and I can line that up for you. The other thing I want to say is a week and a half ago, I was at Camp Chaparral, which is on the Native American reservation up at Yakima and with the Yakima tribe. And once a year, they do Camp Chaparral that helps benefit veterans, Gold Star families, the warriors, and we have all the elders from the tribe there. And it's a week long, and it's a beautiful setting. And so if there's veterans out there that feel that they would like to attend something like that, it's usually the third week of August. So third week of August 2025. And let me know. We'll have applications coming out at the beginning of the year. There's no cost to a veteran to go and their family if the family needs to come with them. And it's just a beautiful camp with the elders, and it's very spiritual, along with very healing for Gold Star families and for veterans, all ages. It's just a beautiful thing. And so I've been able to go this last 2 years, and I'm the cook. So, so that's why I got to come in the first place, because I'm a civilian and I'm not neither a veteran or a Gold Star family, but I'm really blessed to be able to go. So I just want to keep putting that out there, because we need more people from the Tri-Cities, because we have so many veterans here and so many of them need help. So I want to put it out there. So just get a hold of me and I can hook you up with some information. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hayes. Mayor Pro Tem Brink?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just two things. I found Ms. Cahoon's discussion on positive political debate to be very interesting. I'm actually going to be meeting with Lieutenant Governor Denny Heck on Friday as part of a larger group that's going to be discussing civic health and how to engage respectfully and productively at the state and local level with differing opinions, but reaching hopefully some sort of consensus or middle ground. So I thought that her talk was rather timely. Last, Mr. Mayor, I just want to mention that in our meeting on July 16th, you did a poll, an informal poll as to whether we should have discussion on fireworks. I think 4 council members indicated that they would like to have a further discussion on fireworks. And so therefore I would ask that this be brought up to a workshop or a council subcommittee meeting at the appropriate time after the budget is addressed and more time critical matters are addressed. But just like to remind that comment, especially since the city did receive another comment from Ms. Leanne Dudney, lives on Melinda Drive earlier today. Thank you, sir.
And as per our conversation in regards to that, yes, that is on staff's radar. And as you made mention, budget has consumed us considerably since the onset of this year. So we will go ahead and get that on an agenda for conversation at the appropriate time when we have available man hours. And then a comment in regards to Councilmember Bloom. BLM is notoriously slow in any actions in which they take, whether it's with the city or private industry. But we're comfortable that they will get to the agreement with Costco. We'll go ahead and hold those funds, and if for some reason it does not come
That's
to
a state.
fruition.
That's not BLM, that's a state.
No, that's BLM property. DNR, excuse me,
DNR.
BLM. I always get the two mixed up. Thank you for the correction, yeah. But regardless, either BLM or DNR, that they all move at the snail's pace. So yeah, and if it doesn't come to fruition, those funds will be returned. And if they can't get it squared away, maybe we'll offer them an opportunity to locate out there at the Lewis and Clark Ranch. So that would certainly be something that would be beneficial to not only our local residents, but anybody else in the surrounding areas too. So I see we have Councilmember Smart for comments this evening as well.
Yeah, I guess I will just sort of segue in the young lady's presentation. I also love to hear those words, but I'd actually had this on my mind before she had this conversation with us. And that is that we have an election year cycle coming up here. We just had a somewhat controversial, thing on the ballot for West Richland with the marijuana shop. And again, we saw, and we saw last year and almost every year, people disrespecting the campaign signs that folks go to a lot of work to put up because they have, a heartfelt opinion. They have every right to put up campaign signs in legal places. I think that it's despicable. I heard reports on this last election that we had of signs, I don't think I saw any signs promoting the pot shop, but I saw signs, asking not to do the pot shop, vote no on pot. There were reports of those being stolen, vandalized. run over off the road. There was one case where somebody ran off the road and ran over a sign. They were lucky it wasn't being held up by T-stakes. Maybe that would have taught them a lesson. Anyway, I just want to say that, and last time we had a presidential election from both sides, you know, signs for, what was it, Biden and Trump, defaced, vandalized, chopped up, taken down, stolen. Folks, you've got to respect people's opinions. You've got to respect this democratic process. If you don't like the opposition's feelings or sentiments, go put up your own signs. Okay. But we've got to ask people to have a cordial discord here. You know, don't take it out on the signs, for goodness sake. So talk to your neighbors if you have a strong opinion about something. Find other ways to get a positive message across for your opinion. So that's what I would say. As far as the workshop for fireworks, I'm on the side that doesn't think we need that. I think there's so many other things we could be talking about at work, at the valuable time that we spend in workshops. It seems like at the drop of a hat, we get a half a dozen people writing letters complaining about fireworks every single year. And then we go and consider, do we need a workshop? Well, you know, how about development standards? How about the GMA? How about the budget over with a fine tooth comb? I would like to see us spend our time doing other things. So I will certainly attend a workshop on fireworks and voice my opinions there, but wow, I just roll my eyes, I'm sorry, and say, like, how many times do we have to have this conversation? Because for every complaint that we get, there are dozens of other people who are enjoying the 4th of July, shooting off obviously a lot of fireworks. They love it. It's a mass opinion. So I mean, I understand that it's a bother to some, and I respect, I have had dogs in the past who have gone wild. They have to be tranquilized. It's a pain in the neck. I also have to stay at home and watch my property and make sure it doesn't burn down. I get it, but boy, we've had this conversation for, like, I don't know, since I've been coming to council meetings. This is like 25 years. And it always turns out the same. So I'm just sorry. That's my opinion on that.
No,
I wanted to share that as a counter to the other side, but I respect it, and we'll have the conversation if that's what we'd say we should have.
And
Thank
I continue to bring the question forth to council, and this time we had more that would interested to talk about it. So we're gonna follow Laura
Yeah.
Calhoun's positive political debate, as she
I love it.
just mentioned us, by having that workshop.
That's
Okay.
100% understood, and I totally
All right.
appreciate it. So,
Very good.
but I had to give my voice there. Thank you.
And with that, we do not have an executive session, so we will conclude this meeting at 6:33. Thank you.